Hello and welcome to Joya Plugged In, a postmodern METerpiece. This is the electronic portfolio of my experience within UBC's MET, or Masters of Educational Technology program. If you're watching this tour the gallery video, then you've already found my homepage. A personally cool feature of this homepage is my Mr. Picasso head self-portrait. I created this artifact as an interactivity in my eTech 510 class, which was my first MET course. You can read more about Mr. Picasso head and my experience by visiting the Diary of an Artist page. By using the homepage menu bar, you can navigate through the different main pages of my ePortfolio. Let's check out A Method to the Madness to learn more about my postmodern metaphor and the process I took to develop my METerpiece. Here we are on A Method to the Madness page. Let's start by going over a little navigational logic of the site. If you find yourself on a main page with subsections like this one, you can use the top button bar to navigate within this section. You'll find this button bar on each of these pages. To return to a previously viewed main page or the previously viewed main page, use the back button. If you want to advance to the following main page as per the homepage menu bar, use the next button. If you'd like to design your own sequence for navigation, hit the home page and pick as your whim suggests. Back to content. A Method to the Madness serves two purposes. It fits well with my postmodern metaphor, which I'll introduce to you shortly. Also, it refers to the method by which I designed and carried out my ePortfolio. The purpose I chose, my intended audience, the objectives I created, and the evaluation tool I designed. A quick overview of my method was to create a space that documents my process as a MET student and my growth as a practitioner by layering and interweaving course and course-inspired artifacts, resonating research, personal reflections, and cherished resources. As a part of eTech 590, the course within which I designed this ePortfolio, I was encouraged to connect my experiences in the Masters of Educational Technology program to a resonating metaphor. I chose the metaphor of the postmodern artist. As someone who explores, plays, creates, and reflects naturally as I navigate life, I embrace the artist process organically. I more specifically chose the postmodern artist because many postmodern tenets, such as looking to the past for inspiration, believing that truth and meaning are personal inventions, and that the medium is a message, are postmodern tenets that fueled my MET journey and subsequently the evolution of my METerpiece. By watching the video created on the right, you can gain further insight into the postmodern philosophy. Finally, each artifact page will further elaborate the postmodern connection. Let's go home and see where else we can explore. Here we've arrived at the first artifact page, Learning from the Masters. A fun feature of this page is this quick image mashup of some masters in terms of developmental learning as well as a master of postmodernism. In their 2003 book, Culture and Technology, Murphy and Potts uphold that postmodernism is tethered to the past. Like a postmodern artist, I went back in history as a part of the MET program, borrowing from the masters in terms of learning theories, the foundations of educational technology, inspiring literature, and research methodologies. I developed my pedagogy in educational technology by immersing myself in the past to help shape my future as both a user of computer and web-based technologies and as a teacher who integrates them. The artifacts I selected within my ePortfolio are shared based on how they fit into each subsection of my postmodern connection, as opposed to a linear progression. However, within each subsection, I've included artifacts based on course completion. Let's see where our journey next takes us. The second artifact page is entitled Blurring the Lines. The artifacts connected to this section represent my growth as a technologist. To become a postmodern artist, I needed to go beyond the literature and the theories of the masters and become familiar with the tools. I stepped out of my comfort zone, played with new technologies, and gained confidence in my practice. Through the top button bar links, you can explore my practical process and progress. I also created a quick media production to illustrate some of the tools I used to blur the lines. On we go. Here we find ourselves on the last artifact page of my ePortfolio, Reinvents and Reimagines. Throughout the ePortfolio, you will no doubt see nods to postmodern icons or different types of postmodern art. While it may appear self-indulgent, the premise was to pay homage to the postmodern artists of the past while using modern tools. Postmodern artists make hybrids and seek to reappropriate from culture and history. Anderson purports that current computer-enhanced learning environments are grounded in past learning theories such as constructivism. So a cool connection I made while constructing this ePortfolio is that online learning itself can be considered postmodern. I've played with the tools and I feel confident with my developing technique. And like a true postmodern artist, I borrowed from my mentors and my peers to reinvent and reimagine what educational technology means to me and how it's integrated into my classroom. The artifacts in this section, they come from my own teaching, my own classroom. As you peruse them, you'll see I've taken some risks that have sometimes panned out, sometimes less well, but I've always hoped to, learn from past experiences as I move on to new ones. Speaking of moving on, I've been a reflective practitioner throughout MET, and here on my Diary of an Artist page, I've included some of those reflections. You can use the button bars to go through course by course. Some of these reflections are formal ones that were posed by the instructors. Others come from discussion group forums, and others still come from personal reflections and earlier versions of an online portfolio. Off we go. We've arrived at the final section of pages. On the About the Artist page, you can scroll through and learn more about my educational background and my more postmodern interests. I also included a media production I created as a part of eTech 531 last term entitled I Am an Artist. It felt apropos to include it here as an interactivity. Moving to my Inspiring Touchstones page, you can scroll through and link to a variety of resonating research and literature, online resources, and a variety of tools. Click on Post METerpiece to read about what new art I'll be creating post-MET. Learning and art are lifelong processes, and I've already been preparing new canvases and selecting new tools both personally and professionally. Finally, I encourage you to make my METerpiece interactive art. Integrate yourself into the mix. Leave a comment or send me a message and enter into my postmodern narrative. As we return home, thank you so kindly for taking this tour with me and exploring Joya Plugged In, a postmodern METerpiece.